Hi, my name's Kimberly DiNapoli and I'm a senior manager here at Company K. Does this scene look familiar to you? This is exactly where many of the employees of our company spend approximately an hour and a half of their day, 5 days a week. Some of the employees of our organization are seeking to eliminate this stressful hour and a half of their day by telecommuting. For those of you not familiar with the term telecommuting, it's basically commuting to work via telephone or computer as opposed to commuting in rush hour traffic. In other words, working from home. Although with today's technology, home no longer strictly applies to the place where a person lives. Devices such as laptop computers and smartphones make it possible for people to work from just about anywhere. Places like airport terminals or the waiting room of a doctor's office can become workstations for telecommuters. Telecommuting offers several benefits to both employers and employees, and I'd like to tell you about some of those benefits. The biggest benefit to both the employer and the employee is that telecommuting increases productivity. In fact, telecommuting is reported to increase productivity anywhere from 10 to 50% for individual businesses. The most obvious reason for this increase is that time spent commuting can now be spent working. Employees don't arrive late because they were stuck in traffic. Another reason for this increase is that employees can turn virtually any location into an office. As I mentioned before, technology makes it possible for people to work virtually anywhere, so time isn't wasted sitting around at places like airport terminals or doctor's offices. Speaking of wasting time, a slow work day might find an employee spending time doing things like chatting with friends on Facebook or surfing the web. With telecommuting, employers are no longer paying employees to do this. This is a benefit to the employee as well because he or she can now use the slow time to be more productive in their personal life. They can spend that time with their family or throw in a load of laundry or get in a workout. This leaves the employee less stressed out, less tired, and ultimately more productive in both their work life and their home life. Now there are some benefits that are more specific to the employer, one of which I already briefly touched on is less absenteeism. Employees who work from home don't call in sick. This is especially true for parents who might have to call in sick due to the illness of a child. Also, a minor illness that might keep an employee home often is not so severe that they can't still accomplish many tasks from home. Sick employees who come into the office sick infect other employees. Telecommuting reduces the spreading of illness, thereby keeping everyone healthier. Additionally, weather is no longer the cause of lost work days. Telecommuters never have a problem making it to the office due to a snowstorm or a tropical storm. Another benefit to employers is the ability to attract and retain quality employees. It's clearly a competitive advantage to employ the very best people, but it's usually not possible to find them all in just one town or city. Telecommuting allows an employer to hire someone from anywhere in the world. It opens doors for talented employees who perhaps have limited mobility, and it allows employers to retain those employees. Employees are no longer lost due to a relocation, either by the company or their spouse. A recent study showed that the expenses associated with hiring and training a new employee can be as much as 25% of an employee's salary. Which leads me to the next benefit to employers, a reduction in overhead expenses. Overhead expenses will be reduced in many ways. For example, fewer employees in the office means smaller offices, which translates into lower rent, lower electric bills, lower phone bills, and lower clerical expenses. Companies can grow without incurring higher rent or needing more office space, larger parking lots, more secretaries, more computers, or more phone lines. Also, the reduction in absenteeism saves the employer thousands of dollars each year in sick pay. The reduction in these overhead expenses adds up to significant savings for employers, which obviously increases net income for the company. Employees also realize many benefits from telecommuting. Employees can save money and reduce stress by avoiding the commute. Telecommute Connecticut states that telecommuters save an estimated $1,200 a year on fuel costs alone, and even more when you consider wear and tear on the car and tolls. Working parents save money by eliminating childcare expenses. The cost of childcare now exceeds the cost of sending a child to college in several states. Not only do telecommuters save on this expense, but they now have more time to spend with their children, which creates a more satisfactory work-life balance in that employee's life. Telecommuting also benefits society and the environment by increasing job opportunities and decreasing both pollution and traffic accidents. Now, there are some cons to telecommuting that I have to mention as well. If specialized equipment or programs are needed to be installed in the employee's home or computer in order for them to work at home, it can become costly. Also, we need to make sure that private information is kept private, which means making sure any information transmitted via the internet is secure. Additionally, it's important to consider the personality types of those hired to telecommute. In order for the telecommuting program to be successful, the employees allowed to telecommute must be disciplined self-motivators. It's difficult for managers to supervise telecommuters, and so if the wrong type of personality is in a telecommuting position, it can cause problems in accomplishing tasks and meeting deadlines for the entire company. One other con is that telecommuting can eliminate bonding time that is essential for building a cohesive team. Managers with a blended staff may need to schedule face-to-face time in order to nurture that team culture. Some cons for the employee would include the possibility of feeling isolated and cut off from society as well as their coworkers. If the telecommuter is truly isolated from the organization, then this could lead to that person being passed over for promotions or not getting choice assignments. Also, family and friends might have a hard time understanding that the telecommuter is working when they work from home. And these types of situations can lead to interference and distractions, which can decrease productivity and increase the employee's stress level. One other potential con for the employee is the lack of clear guidance. If the organization does not have clear guidelines and policies in place for telecommuters, it can lead to confusion and frustration for both the employee and the employer. Some positions are a better match for telecommuters than others. Many jobs that are ideally suited for telecommuting are professionals with information or knowledge worker positions. These jobs range from things like accountants and analysts to software engineers and writers. Additionally, positions such as a salesperson or a regional manager might be best suited for part-time telecommuting. These types of positions don't necessarily require that the employee check in at the office every day, but they may require some amount of face-to-face time with coworkers and supervisors. The effects of telecommuting on both the employees and the employers, as well as society, can be extremely positive, providing the proper policies and guidelines are established and communicated. It's also important to put the right type of individual in a telecommuting position. With disciplined, self-motivated individuals and good communication, the increase in productivity and morale are beneficial to those individuals and to the entire organization. Technological advances in things like smartphones and computers have increased the ease with which companies and employees can communicate and stay connected when telecommuting. Rising gas prices and childcare expenses continue to increase the employee's desire for telecommuting positions, and the research supports the fact that the pros outweigh the cons when it comes to telecommuting, providing there are clear guidelines and policies in place. Therefore, it's my recommendation that Company K can benefit from implementing a telecommuting program. Net income can be increased by close to $1 million in 3 years, and expenses to implement the program for our staff would be minimal. Thank you all for your time, and have a great day.